Hi guys. Okay. My name's Allison. This is my first YouTube video. Um so I'm sorry, I'm not wearing any makeup right now. I've been in bed all day. Um I literally just had my arm amputated like 2 weeks ago. So I've been really like I've around the holidays trying to figure stuff out. I've been really like depressed and stuff like that. And I've been trying to figure it out. I've been trying to figure out like I've been trying to get used to it, and it's hard. It's hard. So basically, I'm gonna tell y'all how I lost my arm. I'm gonna tell y'all why I look the way I do and what I've been going through. Um, and if you like what you're hearing or you want to keep up with my story or whatever, I'm gonna try and like post every other day or whatever, because maybe, I don't know, maybe subscribe. If you don't, then don't. I'm just doing this for fun. And maybe try to see if there's anybody else out there who's going what I'm going through, or has any of the same issues as me, or so. Okay, basically, I'm a heroin addict. I've been a heroin addict for like 10 years. And I was able to shoot up. I didn't even like start with pills or anything like that. I just immediately started with the needle, and I started shooting up, and I couldn't, for like the first couple years I could find a vein and it was fine, and I learned how to hit myself and all that, and it was fine. And then like 5 years in, obviously I was having a lot of trouble finding veins, and I had gotten in a relationship with this guy. I won't name any names, and he was muscling. It's where I mean, you have to know how to do it, and it's not like you just like jab a needle into your muscle. It's like, you find it anyway. So basically, he taught me how to muscle, and that's what I started doing, and it was fine until I started getting like, I would get an abscess every now and then, and I would lance it myself and put a band-aid over it and it'd be gone. It was no big deal. And I don't know if it was the water because I always used like alcohol pads, and I tried to always be as cleanly as you can when you're shooting up. It's not the cleanliest thing to be doing anyway, but like I always tried to be really cleanly. I tried to make sure I use alcohol pads, use clean needles, be as sterile as I could. And I don't know if it was the water I used. I don't know if obviously there's either something, I don't know what it was, and maybe I just wasn't hygienic enough. I got some kind of like a parasite, and it was like eating away the flesh on my arm. No matter what I did, I had gone to the hospital, I had had surgeries, I didn't shoot up in that arm anymore, muscle in that arm anymore after that. It just, the infection, I guess the infection was in my bone, because the infection would not go away. It came back. It started, it wasn't even an abscess anymore. It was so bad. It came back. It started eating through my skin until it got to a point where my bone was showing a little bit through the skin on my arm, and then it would eat away that skin, so it was just like you could see my bone. It was horrible. It was so painful. It was so painful. I couldn't sleep on my arm. I couldn't sleep on my side. I had to sleep on my back, like really rigid. So my pillows and my blankets wouldn't touch my arm. It was a miserable existence. It really was. So, I got up one morning. I had gone out the day before, And I had borrowed some money from a friend, and I was like $150. So I went and I got stuff so I wouldn't have to go out the next day and try and make money. So I went and I bought what I needed, and so I went to sleep, and I woke up the next morning, and my arm didn't feel weird. It just, it was the same thing. I had it wrapped. I had to unwrap it. I had to clean it up. I was trying to do the best I could, keeping it wrapped and keeping it clean so the skin wouldn't be eaten away more, or, so it wouldn't get worse. Little did I know. So I get out of bed. I haven't even done my morning shot. I was literally just getting out of bed to go get a drink. And I went in, I got a drink, and as I was coming back into my room, I stepped on my pant leg, tripped, smacked my bad arm against my door frame, and it cracked the bone in half. I mean, I'm telling you, it cracked the bone in half. The bone, once it was free and loose in my arm, it had turned itself all the way around to where it was like trying to come out of that hole in my arm. The whole bone. It was literally a disaster. It was a disaster. I couldn't move. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I couldn't move. And I slowly, picked my arm up with my other arm and, just put it kind of in my hoodie pocket and went out to my mom. And I was like, we need to go to the hospital right now. Right now. So I get to the hospital. I'm in the waiting room. Okay, you would think they'd bring somebody back immediately who has this issue going on. Their bone is pretty much turned itself completely around and it's trying to come out of the hole that the infection has bore in my. No, I have to sit in the waiting room for 4 hours or something like that. And finally, they brought me in, and I said, look, I'm an opiate addict. I'm going to start going through withdrawal. It's going to make the pain way worse. I can't even go from a sitting position because they wanted me to lay down because I have no veins. There was nowhere they could get any blood. They said, we need blood from you. And I said, well, I can't move. My arm, obviously my arm, I can't move. There's just nowhere. So they said, well, the only place you're going to be able to get it is from your femoral artery. I said, well, then I'm going to need to lay. They said, well, you're going to need to lay down. And I said, I can't lay down. My arm, I cannot lay down. So what they did was they basically gave me a shot of ketamine. I don't remember anything after that. They had to give it to me intermuscularly in my hip. And I completely blacked out. I don't remember anything after that. But they got the blood. So I wake up and they had the blood. They were able to admit me. And I'm in my hospital room, and I finally get to see the surgeon comes in, and it's the same surgeon I had that had tried to save my arm the first time, Dr. Abashian. He's just does vascular, nerve, bone, that's his that's what he does. So he came in and he had already worked on my arm one time, and he took one look at it and said, there's absolutely no way. I said, even with pins and, or pins and rods or anything you can do, and he said, no, there's absolutely nothing we could do. It's got to come off. Or you can wait and let the infection kill you. You can just try and move with it as it is, but the infection will kill you. So, needless to say, and I was kind of mentally preparing for what this was going to be. I didn't really, the arm was such a burden. I was in so much pain constantly, day and night. And it had become such a job to take care of the arm and not make sure nothing happened, during the day while I was on the bus or have anybody even, brush against me. It was just such a job to take care of my arm. And seeing it get worse, it was horrible. So he told me it needed to be amputated, and that's what happened. They amputated it the next day, and I know this is gonna sound kind of weird, but I said goodbye to it the night before. If that sounds weird, I had tattoos on that arm that I really loved, and, it's your arm. So, I said goodbye to it, and, I knew that that's just the way that it had to be. And so they put me on methadone in the hospital. I got out. I was on hydrocodone, and and as crazy as it sounds, I just, between the depression and the holidays coming up, and just knowing that I was going to basically have to learn to like relive my life, and figure out how to pretty much do everything over again with one arm. I kept using heroin. I got out, I used heroin. I didn't want to go through the methadone detox, because I was on methadone in the hospital. I didn't want to get out and then go through detox. So I kept using heroin, and I'm still on heroin. And it's hard. It's just, it's difficult. It's you just feel like sometimes it's the only thing that can keep you from, ending your own life, or the only thing that can keep you going. It's just the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with. So I've just been not feeling very well today. I didn't want to go out and make money today. I'm just feeling sick, and I'm not feeling well, and I just figured I just, this make my first video and just see, what kind of response it gets. And so thank you for listening, and I don't know, subscribe, and if anybody wants me to make another video, I have plenty of other stories, not all of them as nearly as depressing. And if you'd like to just kind of help me learn how to live my life, in this new position, or you have any tips or advice, that'd be great. So thanks for watching.